Good morning, and welcome to the WVCN announcements. I'm your host, Andrew Magnuson. We have a chilling and gripping story for you this morning, one that will truly touch the heart of every man, woman, and child here in the sanctuary. For more on the story, I'd like to pass it over to my twin brother, Andrew Magnuson. Andrew? Thank you, Andrew, very much for that wonderful introduction. We have an interesting story for you this morning, entitled Bruce's Ordination. But before we actually get to Bruce's ordination, first, we'd like to show you something. We really believe that Bruce is truly a man of God. We have seen this in the way how he deals with children, getting them behind his vehicle so early on to teach them the vital lessons and critical rules of the road. We can see that look in Kyle's eyes as he's really wondering, what am I doing here? But we fear not, because we know that Pastor Bruce is in control. We also see, further moving on in this story, we see that he is he's really a pioneer in safety management here on the WVCA here at our campus, and also in our Metro New York zone. We actually see him now as he is at. Actually, let's see this. Film footage now. He is in the Fishkill Church of the Nazarene, and we're going to see him test out some equipment there at their church. So let's take a look. Not only is Bruce being instrumental in the district in terms of helping out, he has also been part of our work days here at the church. We really appreciate all that he has done, and we can see some film footage right now as he is either, trying to, do some work here.
I could still be wet pastor, but I'm going along.
Yes, well, unfortunately, the cameraman must have caught him on a break, but we've gotten word that he has actually had a pep talk from his youth pastor, so thank goodness that he's around, and let's see what else we can find out here. Great. See, Pastor Bruce is hard at work. We definitely appreciate his enthusiasm and his support in trying to build build the church for the kingdom of God. Pastor Bruce has also took us to many conferences in the area. We really appreciate him trying to make sure that the younger pastors and staff members of the church really understand what it means to be called and to be a person of God. And so we really appreciate that he took us to a conference in New York City to hear a bunch of pastors speak and famous authors to really help us understand a lot of key components of being in ministry. But good old Pastor Bruce knew exactly where along the way to find the sinners. Now, some of you may not know this, but I'm going to let you in a little secret. Pastor Bruce told me a story that was definitely not true, but early on in his life, at Christmas, he was opening a present, and there he actually got the idea to plant a garden, and within this garden, up in Maine, in the real soil roots of Maine, he had the epiphany of growing yams. And here, Pastor Bruce has actually gone out and created Bruce's Yams. Well, over the past few years, we have been watching and monitoring and taping the WVCN staff, and one thing that we have learned here at the WVCN announcements team is that the pastorate can be very tough. And as we can see, Pastor Andrew has just all been wiped out from everything that he has done in reading the manual. And so it is such an awesome thing that he has been a part of that and reading the manual and really trying to soak in what it is to be a Nazarene. Pastor Bruce was so generous and took his staff out to a soccer game that night. And we really are grateful for the stress relief that allowed us to have. But we also learned something that night that was, how shall I say this, very revealing as to something that was actually in the manual. We see that there was really a reason why the Nazarenes didn't want to have dancing, within the congregations, within the staff members especially, because as we can see in this clip here, he just doesn't have it.
No, it's fine. Oh, it's fine.
Well, that just about wraps it up here for the WVCN announcements crew. That story has just been really gripping and touching, and I really hope that it has blessed you. But we really believe that Pastor Bruce is truly a man of God, and we're so fortunate to have him here as our senior pastor and lead pastor here at Warwick Valley. So thank you very much, Andrew. And now I'd like to turn it over to my twin brother, Pastor Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. I really appreciate that segue. It was a really great story, and great job doing that. I'd like to welcome all of our guests here this morning, and for those that are Pastor Bruce's friends and relatives from far off, welcome. And here is my actually third brother, Pastor Andrew, with the morning announcements. Pastor?